You can make your Minecraft survival world anything you want it to be. But to paint a masterpiece, you need a great canvas. Your seed is your Minecraft canvas, and I have 3 seeds here that will blow you away. Don't you go anywhere. Hello everyone! Today, I'm not messing about. 3 Minecraft seeds. They are amazing. Let's go. And our first seed spawns us in on what looks like a bit of a forest, but where I turn round, we can see it's more of a mountains. And as I rise up, you can see we are surrounded by some stunning views. Mountains to one side of us over there, rolling plains. We've got a jungle right there, and also what looks like a dark oak forest. What a great mixture. However, it wasn't this area on top of the world that made me go wow when I first saw this seed. Oh no, I'll show you what made my jaw drop in just a minute. First off, however, I'm going to head out into the world and show you what you're surrounded by. Heading out directly north takes you out across this jungle, which does become a bamboo jungle there as well. So come along here and see if you can get yourself some pandas. But look, you've got entry right into the literal underworld itself right here. Right underneath that jungle, you have got one of the most beautiful lush caves I think I've ever seen. I mean, seriously, look at it. This is so close to spawn. -34, -19, -551 is exactly where I'm standing. And it's got a mine shaft. And the jungle carries on for about 1,500 blocks until it gives way to this beautiful open lake with the plains on the other side. This plains is gorgeous. Big open rolling hills, not too flat, so you can get some really lovely detailing on it. This is a lovely place to stop. With a very natural but rectangular little hole here. Maybe you could do something with that. Heading east takes us out along this really beautiful gorge. Lava flows coming on the inside. It's got a dark oak forest just up on the left, and the mountains are just up along the right. Rolling plains on the right hand side as well. This one's got a real biomixture to look forward to. Just a little bit further east, we've got another massive inland lake. You'll find this at 1,172, around about 0. And this cave keeps on going down. In fact, there is access to the deeps literally everywhere within 1,000 blocks of spawn. And that's going to prove to be really important to you. And I'll show you in a minute why. South heads us directly up into these enormous mountains. These are massive. I'm stood on one of the peaks here. It's not even the tallest one, and it's Y255. And on the other side, you've got a beautiful rolling plains again with pumpkins, which is obviously really, really important. Which turns into a forest and into this beautiful giant tiger biome right on the edge of the ocean. West heads us out towards this icy peak. We've got a village on the left hand side, but it's watched over by those pillagers on the right. And there's more pumpkins. Right by the pillager tower, there is this massive big hole in the ground going down into the deep again. This thing is all about holes. And if you take this ready-made tunnel through the mountain, it's really easy to get through, assuming that you don't mind the odd mob or 3. You'll come out on the other side with a big waterfall, an open plain again, and a village with a massive broken portal waiting for you, right on the edge of a cliff with a big winding river. However, I promised you that I would reveal this seed's secrets. X83Z18 has this big ancient city. And then X113Z447, you've got another one with a skelly spawner at 98 -18 437. Then if you come to X400Y800, there's another one. And then X-580Y360, you've got another one. And this one's got a mine shaft in it. In fact, there are no fewer than 7 ancient cities within about 800 blocks of spawn. So you feel free to come along and have a little bit of a raid and sneak around. And there is a stronghold at X-1100Y1200. With a portal room at X-1117, Y-23 and Z1218. Sadly, this one, no ender eye. Gonna be honest, be careful with the nether spawn. You could really easily find yourself in the hot sauce just by stepping through it. But you got a nice open fortress at 270-200, which is pretty close. And a completely open bastion remnant at -200, -180. I am calling this seed ancient everywhere for really obvious reasons, and I love it. I think it's a cracker. But so seed 2, let's go. And in seed 2, I am surrounded by terracotta. Well, I say surrounded, I'm right on the edge of a huge mesa, and there's a broken portal literally right next to me. In the other direction, the savannah stretches out as far as the eye can see. So let's take a look around. First off, heading out north. And the obvious thing are these massive Mesa mountains going up to Y200, which is some of the highest mountains I think I've ever seen in a Mesa. Really, really enormous. I love the fact that you've got this big crater though. You could do a base out of that. After about 500 blocks, the Mesa turns into desert and we've got an inland ocean lake right there. We've also got my favourite Badlands, the eroded Badlands, just on the other side. And right on the edge, we have got this really big desert village, massive gap in the middle. But because it's on the edge of the Badlands, it's integrated the terracotta into its buildings. I love the way it's done that. And this thing just standing up right on the edge here, well, that's bonkers, looking over that second desert village right over there. Heading out east takes us along the Savannah Mesa border. But after a couple of hundred blocks, we've got this big rolling plains village on the right hand side and a jungle coming into focus on the left. And right on the edge, we've got this fabulous little square lake. You could totally do something with that. And there are holes going down into the depths of the earth. These holes, they're really very, very round. It's like they've been bored out by some worm. And I definitely don't want to meet that worm. South takes us out across that savannah. But after a few hundred blocks, it turns into another rolling plains with another broken portal and a massive opening into a huge cathedral-like cave. Two of them, in fact. This is enormous. This thing's virtually hollow, this world, I'm sure. And west takes us across the other side of the border between the savannah and the mesa, and it brings us out into the ocean, where a coral reef is just waiting for you to steal all of its sea pickles. Coral reef's blooming huge, it goes on for days. But if you follow them along, you'll find a series of huge sandy cliffs, and I mean huge, and they're hiding yet another broken portal on the other side just there, and another mesa. This place is literally all mesa. Underground's great too. Directly under spawn you've got this deep dark biome, but you've also got two spawners pretty close to each other. Whether they're close enough to be able to do a double spawner farm, I'm not sure. One of them is a spider spawner at -32, -53, 42, and a second spider spawner at -45, -49, 4. There's a big mine shaft scattered with geo just a couple of hundred blocks away, and the ancient city is at -250, -150. Marginally safe for nether spawn with a soul sand valley and a crimson forest right behind you, although do remember soul sand valleys can spawn loads of horribles. The fortress isn't that far away at -250, -250, and it's nice and open in this basalt delta, although the bastion remnant is a little bit further away at -150, -700. If you like terracotta, this one is definitely for you, and that's why I'm calling it Mesa Mountain. I really hope you like this one. I think it's absolutely fantastic. The seed, like all the others, are down in the description below for you to copy and paste straight in. But I've got one more to show you, so don't go anywhere yet. And with that third seed, you spawn in on this tiny little plains beach with a forest right there, the ocean right in front of you, and that is a mangrove swamp. I love the openness of this one. It feels like you can actually breathe in the fresh air. That mangrove swamp is really close. We've got hills in the background. We've got winding rivers going up to the swamp right there. And this open ocean has got a lot of secrets. But we're going to head inland first, away from the ocean, to see what's there. And actually what we've got is a lot of trees and a little bit more ocean. It kind of sweeps around to create this cove. I like the way this beach just continues all the way around there with more forest coming out on the other side. I reckon that could be turned into something quite interesting. This forest changes from this birch forest, which is obviously a very good source of things like chests and sticks, into this dark oak forest right here. And I think these azalea trees growing in the sea look a little bit sus. Beyond that dark oak forest, we've got a village up on the hill. Now, it's quite unusual. It is a plains village, but the size of the plains that it's in is absolutely tiny. So as a result, it's actually a village in a forest. And they're really very rare. And what makes it even more rare is that we have got a smith's right here as well. If we head out east, we are skirting around the edge of the ocean into what looks like even more forest. I hope you like wood. After a few hundred blocks, that forest yields into this slightly sloping plains on the edge of the ocean. I like this one very much. The shape of it really pleases me. You've got a kind of square thing going on there that I'm not sure I like very much in this instance. But the way that it kind of slopes up away from the ocean means you could probably make something really quite interesting from it. And obviously pumpkins gives it bonus points. Heading out west takes us towards this mangrove swamp, and actually it really is tiny. Often I say, oh, this is the biggest mangrove swamp I've seen in ages. This is probably the smallest mangrove swamp I've seen in ages, but that doesn't mean it's not going to have frogs in it, and it's definitely got everything you need to collect up your mangrove wood, plus a load of mud. The other side of the swamp, we've got a big ocean, not as big as the one right by spawn, but pretty big enough. And on the right hand side and the left hand side, we've got a number of small islands that maybe if you wanted to play island Minecraft could work perfectly for you. And then heading out south, we have got the biggest patch of wetness you could ever wish for, although there is a tiny little island just coming into view right now. But right before the island, we have got an ocean monument. In fact, ocean monuments are a bit of a theme on this particular seed, which is why I'm calling it Monument Madness. This monument here sits at about 50-50. If we go just a little bit further, we've got another one sitting at -150, 160. Heading south from that one, we've got another one at -272, 832. And then another one just at the coast at -224, 1152. Then a little bit west at -800, 1136, there's another one. Then heading north from there, we see a mushroom island with yet another ocean monument at -800, 800. This is a really good sized mushroom island actually. It'd be perfect for a base. Obviously you won't have any problems with the mobs spawning on the surface, so do be aware underneath the biome can change and mobs can come up from there. But if we go north from this mushroom island, not too far actually, just a little bit further, and you'll see that we've got lights in the distance. And it's another ocean monument sitting at -880, 80. There are no fewer than 16, yeah, you heard that right, 16 ocean monuments within 2,000 blocks of spawn, and 12 of them are all around this mushroom island. It's absolutely bonkers. Under the ground at spawn is actually awesome as well. You've got plenty cave systems, including these big cathedral caves with lots of exposed diamonds, I noticed, just as I'm flying through it, that you can come and have an explore and do some mining with. Although if you prefer branch mining, there are some open spaces without any caves that you can use as well. And there are a few spawners, including this one directly under your feet at -20, -47, 42. The ancient city isn't too far away at 400, 1600. And the stronghold is fairly close, sitting just below Y0 at -800, 1600. With the gate at -8384, 1600. And it's got one Eye of Ender in it as well. Honestly, nether spawn right at spawn is a little bit tricky, so you might want to wander off just a little distance to make sure that you don't spawn right in the middle of this big old lava lake. The nearest fortress to spawn is at 200, -200, but it is nice and open right by that crimson forest, really easy to get to. And at -100, -525, you're going to find yourself a bastion remnant that's mostly buried, but you can dig yourself in fairly easily. 3 brilliant seeds, all catering just ever so slightly differently to what people might want. Which one do you think is your favourite? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to find out. And if you've got any other brilliant seeds, put the codes down in the comments and I'll check them out. I'd really like to hear from you. And I'll look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.